If you send the same cold email to 5 or 6 professors, they will know, they can tell. I will not waste my money on application fee, celebrating them, romanticizing them, saying they are the best thing since fried rice and chicken. So before you could email a professor, first check whether you are able to meet the requirements of that university. And a cold email doesn't start with writing. It doesn't start with your computer. It doesn't start with your email address. A cold email starts with researching. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. Also remember to hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time I drop a new video. On today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you how to write a cold email that gets a response. I want to point out why your cold emails have not been getting responses. And I'm going to show you the correct way to write your cold email so that it will get a response. So let's get started. What is a cold email? A cold email is an email you write to establish contact with somebody in an organization you are targeting. A cold email can be written for several reasons. It's not only academic. People write cold emails to pitch their ideas, to request collaboration, to seek job opportunities, and for several other reasons. But on this episode, we are going to be focusing on academic cold emails, the type of cold email that people write when they are seeking graduate admission, particularly the type of cold email that people write when they are seeking admission into a doctoral program. A cold email can be rejected for several reasons. A cold email can go without getting a response for several reasons. A cold email might not get a response if it is generic, if it is wrongly timed, if there is no funding, or if there is no follow-up. These are 4 major reasons why a cold email might not get a response. But should you even bother to write a cold email before you submit your application? My answer is yes. If you are applying for a doctoral program, you should write a cold email before you submit your application. And a cold email doesn't start with writing. It doesn't start with your computer. It doesn't start with your email address. A cold email starts with researching. You must do some research before you write your cold email. The first thing you want to research is your ability to meet the university requirements. So before you email a professor, you know, a professor might be interested in you, but if their university is not interested in you, there is nothing they can do. So before you could email a professor, first check whether you are able to meet the requirements of that university for that program. You want to be sure that you can provide everything they are asking for. So if you are an international student, before you write a cold email, it is important for you to check the broad admission requirements, then check the admission requirements for international students. If a university, for example, is asking for credential evaluation, or they are asking for proficiency test, or they are asking for GRE, and you are not ready to provide any of those, don't waste your time cold emailing a professor. Be sure that you can meet you can meet the requirements, you can provide every document they are asking for. So check the requirements, check that out, just check off that box before you send a cold email. Once you are certain that you are able to meet the requirements, then go on the departmental websites to see the professors that are in that department you want to apply to. The professors in the departments, you know, departments also, we have colleges, within the college we have schools and all. So target the professors in that school, the professors in that department, the professors in that program. They will be listed somewhere on the university website or on the departmental websites. Universities always list their professors. Go through the list of professors there and see the ones whose profiles match your research interest. If, for example, I'm interested in early childhood education, in the College of Education, I won't be interested in a professor who is doing education technology. I won't be interested in a professor who is doing educational leadership. I'll look for a professor who does something relating to preschool, early childhood, and all. So look for a professor whose research expertise aligns with your own interests. Typically, you will see their email address, you will see their email address and their research expertise on the website. Harvest their email address. Next, head over to Google Scholar and look up that professor. Once you have harvested their email address, head over to Google Scholar and look them up. Download one article that has been written by this professor and make sure you read it. You can download more, but at least one. Download at least one. Read that article published by that professor. Understand the article. Make sure you know what the article is about, and take note of a particular line that stands out for you in that article. Something they said that resonates with you. Write it somewhere and take note of the page number. Now write your cold email. When you write your cold email, let the first paragraph be about you, and it has to be brief. Just introduce yourself, your name and your designation. Your name and your designation. Then conclude that first paragraph. I'm not saying the whole email now. Only the first paragraph. Conclude it by saying that you are looking to start a PhD in that admission cycle. Also mention the admission cycle, fall of 2025, spring of 2026. Just mention it. Mention the admission cycle, typically for PhD. So your name, your designation, and tell them that you are looking to start a PhD in this fall. Mention the program you want to start your PhD in. You want to start your PhD in chemical engineering. You want to start a PhD. You're looking to start a PhD in political science. You're looking to start a PhD in this or that area in the admission cycle, the specific admission cycle. And that is your first paragraph done. You move on to paragraph 2. You remember that paragraph 1 is about you. Paragraph 2 has to be about that professor. So you start your paragraph 2 by letting them know that your search for a potential advisor led you to their page, led you to them. You found them. You didn't chance on them. You dug them up because you were vigorously searching for someone to be your advisor, for a potential advisor, somebody who can give you what you need. And that was how you found them. Make that known, that it was your search that made you to discover them. Go on to laud them. Go on to celebrate them. Go on to acknowledge the wonderful work, the significant work, the impressive work, the prolific work they have done in this field. And mention those things. Remember I said don't be generic. Mention those things you've seen them. It's okay to look them up on Google Scholar, but you can take it a step further by Googling them. You can also look them up on Google to see the work they have done and briefly mention those things that you have seen them do. Then go on to mention their paper that you have read. Mention that paper you have read. Mention the title of that paper so that they know. Don't just say, oh, I read one of your papers. Mention the title of the paper and what the paper is about. I read your paper entitled XYZ, which discusses blah, blah, blah. Then go on to mention the specific thing, the specific line that stands out for you. Quote it. Lift up that line directly from their article and put it in your cold email. Quote it with the page number. You want to convince them that you have read their article. And one way you can do that is by quoting with page number. Then go on to explain. Don't just say it resonates with me. How did it resonate with you? So go on to explain how it resonates with you and how that makes you so interested in working with them. That is paragraph 2. So while paragraph 1 is an introduction, a brief introduction of you, paragraph 2 is mainly about this professor, celebrating them, romanticizing them, saying they are the best thing since fried rice and chicken. And then you come to paragraph 3. It is here in paragraph 3 that you unpack your own credentials, your education, your career, say things about yourself that are relevant. This is where I'm coming from. This is who I am, where I'm coming from. This is my education. And the concluding paragraph is going to be where you ask for an opportunity to discuss your research interest with them. Ask for an opportunity to discuss your research interest with them. That could be via email, correspondence, or Zoom, or a Zoom meeting, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, whatever. Just tell them that you are flexible. Let them know that you are comfortable with any mode of communication they want, but you really appreciate an opportunity to speak with them. Show that you appreciate their time. Be explicit about it, saying you appreciate their time, but you really love, it will mean so much to you to discuss with them. And remember to attach your CV to this email. Don't put your, I've reviewed somebody's code email and I was shocked. Don't put your phone number there. Don't ask a professor to call you. You can reach me on. Don't say that. You are the one looking for something. You need them. They don't need you. So be very mindful of their time and their position. So let them know that you'll be grateful for any opportunity to discuss your research interest with them. Sometimes they may not even ask to have a Zoom meeting with you. They may also correspond. They may just respond to your cold email, or they may ask to have a Zoom meeting with you. Whichever way, it is fine. But it is your responsibility to ask. Don't just directly say that and go on to apply. Say, mention it that you want to have a meeting with them. If they now decide that they don't want to have a meeting with you, but they respond to your cold email, a positive email from them is what, yes, a positive response from them is what you need. They may not have a meeting with you, but they still respond positively to your cold email. Now, look at that structure I've given you. Paragraph 1, introducing yourself. Paragraph 2, about that professor. Things they have done, the paper they've written, what their paper is about, how you read the paper, how it resonates with you. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 3 is about you unpacking, unloading your credentials. Then paragraph 4 is you seeking to have a meeting with them, seeking to speak with them. It is that simple. A cold email doesn't have to be verbose. 300 to 350 words, you are good. Everything I've said now is something you can achieve in 300 words or 350 words. Make it brief. Your cold email doesn't have, your cold email is not your statement of purpose. So don't start downloading everything about your past, please. Professors are very busy people, so be mindful of their time. What did you notice in that structure? You'll see that it is specific. It is not generic. I mentioned that one major reason why people don't get responses to their cold emails is that their cold emails are generic. People just go on the internet and they download the cold email templates and they send the same cold email to 5-6 professors. Don't do that. If you send the same cold emails, if you send the same cold email to 5 or 6 professors, they will know, they can tell. But there is no way you want to send a cold email to a professor where you are mentioning the work they have done, you are mentioning their paper, you are mentioning a specific page or a specific quotation from their paper that they won't be convinced that that cold email is for them and them alone. So sending a generic cold email might be someone's undoing for why they won't get a response. Don't send a generic code email. I've just unpacked how you can send a targeted, specific code email, a code email tailored to that professor. That is number 1. Number 2, wrong timing. Wrong timing is another reason why people don't get responses to their cold emails. Don't send your cold email in the evening. Don't send your cold email during a holiday. Don't send your cold email on a weekend. Send it on a work day and send it at the start of work. So if you are a prospective international student emailing another country, check for the differences in time zone. Don't send it in your own morning. Send it in their own morning. Don't send it at the start of your own work. Send it at the start of their own work. So check what their 9 a.m. is when work starts, or anytime work starts in the local country you are sending your code email to. Make sure that is when you're sending your code email. If their time doesn't work for you, let's say you're sending from Nigeria to the US, for example, where we have 5 to 6 hours differences. You can't stay up late or you can't wake up early to send that code email. You may schedule your code email. If you send your code email on a weekend or you send it during the holiday, by the time work starts, they are going to see it. They are going to, they are not going to see it, excuse me. They are not going to see it, or they may have to scroll and scroll before they weren't sitting around waiting for your code email. So your code email may just get buried under a stack of other code emails and you will quickly be forgotten even before you are noticed. You don't want to do that. So that's another reason why people don't get a response to their code emails. Another reason why people don't get responses to their code emails is lack of follow-up. A professor may have the intention of responding to you and they just forget, or they just get caught up with their responsibilities and activities. So it's a good idea to send a follow-up after about a week. If you send a cold email to a professor and you don't get a response after about a week, please send a follow-up. The last reason why you may not get a response to your cold email is lack of funding. A professor may love your cold email. They may be grateful that you read their paper. They may be wowed that you know so much about their work and they may really be interested in working with you. But for some reasons, they don't have funding. They're just aware that they don't have funding for you. And what are you doing in a PhD program without a funding? I know very few people do it. As an international student, you don't want to get into a PhD program without a funding unless you really have some good money in your bank account or you have someone bankrolling you. So a professor may not respond to you if they don't have funding. It is therefore a great idea to cold email multiple professors. Send a cold email to a professor as if you are not going to send a cold email to another professor. Then send cold emails to as many professors as you can, as if your cold emails are of low quality. So make sure you are writing good quality code emails and you are writing as many code emails as possible. As many code emails as possible. Trust me, getting admission into a doctoral program and getting funding with it is a game of number. It is a game of number. So you want to send as many code emails as possible. You need only one admission, right? You want to send as many code emails as possible. You want to see as many positive responses as you will get. Then you want to submit as many PhD applications as you can so that when the admissions come in, you can choose the best one for you. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you don't have an option. So the best thing is to have multiple admissions. The best thing is to have multiple admissions and choose the one that is best for you. I will not submit an application to a university where I didn't get a positive response. So even if I send a code email and my code email is good and a professor did not respond, or the professor responds but their response is not a positive response, I will not waste my money on application fee. I will not submit an application there. I will not waste my money on application fee, because when decision makers are reviewing PhD applications, you typically need someone in that department who can speak for you. Someone who can say, oh, I have spoken with this person. I want to be their advisor. I was the one that encouraged them to apply. So don't start your application without sending cold emails, and don't apply to a school where you have not gotten a positive response. If after sending your cold email, the school now reaches back to you that, or the professor now reaches back to you that you shouldn't even bother about having them as the advisor, that the university will place you after admission, that is okay. But make sure you send your cold email first. I hope I've been able to address your burning questions about how to write a cold email that gets a response. If you have any other question, or if there is any other thing you wish I addressed in this video that I didn't address, kindly put it in the comment section. I'm going to respond to you. I'm going to answer your question. And until I come your way next time, keep being phenomenal, keep doing well for yourself. See you.